Hello everybody, Geek Etiquette here, and I don't have a Christmas hat, so I improvised, and this is my stocking. So I thought I would get into the festive spirit, seeing as it's Christmas Eve for me currently. I don't know whether it will be for you when you watch this or what have you. So this vlog is going to be jam-packed with all kinds of stuff, and I just wanted to say thank you for clicking and watching. So what I want to cover is I want to briefly talk about YouTube upon reflection this year, for what it's been like for content creators and what have you. This is actually it's not bad, it's not a bad improvisation. I want to share with you a lot of channels of different categories and how important it is for you to check them out and what have you, but we'll go over that. I also want to briefly go over my plans for the new year and that kind of thing. I'm not making New Year's resolutions. I don't really do that kind of thing. I'm not really that festive lately. So I also didn't want to do a video, excuse me, for Christmas and have it all completely Christmassy themed, because I think a lot of people probably like myself, sort of like bah humbug or what have you. But I thought I'd show a little bit of festive cheer, I guess. So first of all, I wanted to talk about as a content creator what it's been like on YouTube. So this year it's been, there's been a lot of ups and downs, I think, for everybody, and actually that doesn't just refer to YouTube, but also I think in our personal lives. I know that a lot of people sort of see this year as kind of bad, and I can totally see that, and I wouldn't say that I've had a particularly bad year personally, but at the same time, there's certainly been ups and downs, I think, for everybody. But the most important thing out of that is that I know that the majority of you, if you haven't already, will land on your own feet, will land on 2 feet and come out of it not so much unscathed. But these, whenever things have gone south for you, just know that it's what happens and how you deal with it. It's not easy, of course it's not, and I don't want to sort of like bring this vlog down, because I do want to address certain things and be happy and all that kind of stuff, which it is. But it's important to know that whatever's happened to you this year, whether it's good or bad, it's all a part of a process. You can use it to grow and use it to your advantage. So it's not all doom and gloom, despite how you may feel. And I know it's not. It's easier said than done. But I think this year has been interesting in a lot of ways for a lot of people. So anyway, YouTube. So there's a lot of videos and stuff about how YouTube is broken, and views and sub glitches that apparently don't exist, and YouTube essentially calling us liars. But that's another issue. And I think it's hit us more because we've noticed it more as content creators, because it's not that YouTube's broken. It's just like, as MatPat said, MatPat has done 2 great videos trying to sort of help theorize and explain what could be factors into why people are losing views and all that kind of stuff. And it's a kind of a domino effect, because when one thing gets affected, then the other gets affected, and it's a chain reaction. So obviously YouTube, there's always algorithm changes. We don't necessarily know what the sweet spot is for algorithms, and I think that some channels do videos on like, oh, I've figured it out how you get millions of subscribers, millions of views, and we click it. Now this is another part of the, I guess, problem is that the consumer has changed the way they view, what they watch. And there's multiple reasons for that. Again, as I say, the algorithm does play a part in that, but also how we present our content. So that kind of rhymed. So for example, clickbait, that's a big topic that has been, quite an issue, quite a thing this year. And I think I don't see a problem with clickbait as long as it's honest clickbait, which kind of sounds counterproductive, because the whole idea of clickbait is essentially to get you to click on that video. And the reason why it works, even though the majority of the time we're disappointed by the result when we actually watch the video, as in it's nothing to do with either the thumbnail that's clickbaity or the title. Pat explains how we as humans, we need to have a resolve for something. We can't leave something just up in the air and not know the result, and so that's why people click clickbait, or that's one of the many reasons. And so it's what we do with that. Now clickbait as a whole is not a new concept. I mean, if you think about the businesses who give like teasers and like big massive half price signs in their stores, and then you see at the bottom it says up to on selected lines or up to half price, but we instantly see in big bold letters, oh, this range is half price. And so we look, and that's what it is. And then the resolve is that we find out that it's only selected lines, and then there's that kind of disappointment. But at the same time, we're already drawn in, we're already looking, and so it's not a new thing. It's just how we put that message across. So I don't have a problem with clickbait overall when it's done correctly. As I say, YouTube now, in the last few years, has become more of a marketing and business aspect than it has, what it was at its core. And that's just the way things evolve. That's just how business goes. And so I don't think, it's frustrating, but at the same time, I'm just going to focus on me and what I do and how I do it. And at the end of the day, if it works, it works. But I also need to sort of roll with the times as best as possible without going to my sort of moral boundaries, if you like. So that's my thoughts on that. And I think that we need to realise how important it is now more than ever, about sharing and engaging in your favourite YouTubers' content. And by this, it could be a simple thing as retweeting. Even if you think no one is going to see your tweets, nobody cares, the fact that you've done it, you've made that effort, it all helps, because you never know, somewhere down the line, you don't know what people are actually seeing when you do such a thing. You don't know how many people that would actually reach out to, even if, let's say for example, with Twitter. So you retweet, you share a video that you've watched that you enjoyed on Twitter, and you have 2 followers. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that A, it doesn't reach those 2 followers, and B, that it's not going to reach. It's a public platform. It's it's a public place that you're sharing. So the chances are that somebody along the way at some point is going to look at that. Now, they don't necessarily have to engage with you directly, they don't necessarily have to follow you, but the fact that you've shared that video and brought it to whatever audience you attract, it all helps. And so whatever you do on someone for someone's video, whether it's sharing on Facebook, on Twitter, on Reddit, another platform, whatever it is, it all helps, and it's all contributing, and it's just an easy a quick and free way of supporting someone. So there are so many different things you can actually do to help, and I can't stress enough how important that is. And I've talked about this plenty of times, but especially now with the algorithm change, and people what they watch and what they view, how that's changed, people's behaviors. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is to engage with that uploader in any way you think you can. So whatever you do helps, and just know that to me in particular, and I'm sure to many others, it's vital and it's important, and it's also really appreciated, because, as I say, if you can't financially support someone that you enjoy, whether it's through Patreon or tipping or sponsorship or partnership, whatever it is, if you can't do that, then the simple few clicks takes probably less than 30 seconds to do, and that's your bit, that's your job done. It's as simple as that. So if you can try and engage as much as possible on your favourite content creators. And what I want to do now is I want to go over a few different categories of content creators that I've known or found this year, and it's essentially a shout out, but it's something that it's my opinion, and it's something that I want to share. So this is my kind of contribution, and my way of showing support to these other content creators on this platform. And whether it reaches like 800 of you, 700, 5, 1 person, I just know that I've done my part, essentially, or I've contributed to that, hopefully. So I'm going to go right into it, because this vlog is going to end up being pretty long if I don't. So as I say, it's in categories, so then you know what sort of content you'd expect to see from these people. I'm not going to talk about their channel too much. If something pops up, then I'll say like, oh, their editing's great, if you like this kind of style, they're similar to this person or this channel. So it's all down to you at the end of the day. So first category that I've picked are review type channels. And this can be game reviews, movie reviews, that kind of thing, top 10 lists and their opinion. So we have Cygnus Destroyer, LGN Defender. We've got Rewind Mike. We have Daria Plays. Her focus is a lot on RPGs and JRPGs, so if you like that genre of game, then definitely head in that direction. We've got Cannot Be Tamed. We've got One and Only Kovic. We have Retro Island Gaming. We have TJ Mack. We've got Stephen Wilds. Now, wants to point out something here. Although Stephen, or Bane as you might know him, my fiance, although he isn't a YouTuber in the strictest sense, but he does have a channel which is it's sort of like a visual portfolio of what he really wants to do and what he really does, which is written reviews, and creative writing in that sense. So he does have like podcasts there, which I've actually done a couple of codpasts. I've done a couple of podcasts with him, and on movies, that kind of thing. He does have the odd Let's Play, and he also uploads his live streams, which is a lot of it now. His live streams are actually a part of his Patreon, which is another way you can support his work. And what he does is his patrons basically pay to put him through hell. One of the things you can do as a patron is you can choose the game that he plays for that stream. So you can make him play pretty much whatever you want, whether it's good or bad. And he'll do it. So a lot of his uploads from his streams lately have been that kind of thing. But as I say, most of his focus is on his writing work, and he does a lot of reviews for websites and gaming websites, and he's also worked for Playboy. He also is the researcher for Stephen Larson. So yeah, you can see a lot of his work around. And I just wanted to point that out because, if you go to his channel and it's like, oh, well, he doesn't really do reviews. He does, just not on YouTube. Anyway, we've got the Dali Popka, and we've got Dubious, and we've got Nekimore. So those channels, as I say, their main focus are on sort of gaming reviews and, just reviews in general, that kind of field of work. Retro gaming type channels. So retro gaming, we've got the Joy of Sticks, we've got Game Shed, we have Replayability, we've got Continue, and we've got Slopes Game Room, and we got Jimmy Hopper, which again, Jimmy Hopper I would say be more under the review section rather than retro, but he does a lot of like pickup videos, and it's retro related. So yeah, it's see what I mean, like they fall under two categories a lot of the time. Next category are streamers. So this can be streamers on YouTube Gaming and or Twitch. We've got Lord Rage, who streams survival horror games. So his favourite is Resident Evil. To give you an idea of the different games, so Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Last of Us, Evil Within, Until Dawn. So if you want, survival horror streams, he's worked really, really hard this year, and he streams a lot of the time. This is his job essentially. We got Albert freaking Wesker, or Albert FN Wesker, and again a survival horror streamer mostly, and he's also been working really hard this year. You expect to see a lot of The Last of Us and Resident Evil 4 remaster, that kind of thing. We've got De Facto Long Plays, and he does a lot of PS1 titles, and he does like kind of walkthroughs, long plays of different games like Medieval, Medal of Honor, that kind of thing. We have One Shot Girl, Julie, and again she's shifted her focus a lot on streaming, and she plays a variety of content. She has been playing a lot of Hello Neighbour and Dead by Daylight, that kind of thing. She does also do the odd vlog, and she does the odd Let's Play as well, and she, as I say, she shifted towards streaming the majority of the time. Susie Lou, another one, and again variety. Both of these girls actually do also a bit of singing. Very talented, very versatile content, and again they focus mostly on streaming now. We've got Retro Crumpet, who you can find on Twitch. We've got Replayability, we've got Paul Foxhound, who also streams as well as occasionally pickup videos. Lumps the Clown as well, another sort of mostly retro streamer. Okay, so the next category we have is Let's Players. So this is again where the majority of their content are focused on Let's Plays, however they do the odd kind of stuff. We've got Ashby FC, who he's mostly a retro player, however, and does a lot of walkthroughs. He was also a big inspiration for me to do the Tomb Raider and Silent Hill walkthrough. And his content again is varied, and he does stream on odd occasion. But yeah, we've got Bumbleworth, or Mr. Bumbles as you may know him, and his quality is always top notch. A lot of his videos are like 4K resolution now, and all that good stuff. But he's also an extremely talented 3D animator. Now, you may also recognise his his animation of PewDiePie, as it was the first video featured on one of his competitions he did. So that just just gives you an idea if you weren't aware that that was him. We also have Jack and Nash. Jack and Nash are they're predominantly Let's Players, and it's kind of Let's Plays in a kind of a podcast type setting. The closest thing to describe to sort of, I wouldn't say compare them to, but to give you a better idea, is kind of Game Grumps basically. We've got Mr. Ray Honda. He is a really nice guy. He's so laid back and chill. He's a complete goofball and he knows it. And he works hard on his channel. He works hard at trying to, make content that you're going to enjoy. And does a lot of horror games. He does have a wide variety of content as well. He also streams. He's part of the Norgy crew as well, with Moiscum, or Bob, as you may also know him, Bobbleheads. So yeah, again, he works really hard, and it's important that you share his work, because YouTube is pretty much the only thing he can do. There's a lot of reasons behind that. So check that out. We've got Over Englishman, we've got Lan Up, we've got Millimate, who is another YouTuber that I feel is one of the sort of honest ones, and he does a lot of this kind of thing where he shouts out, channels and videos that he feels, in his opinion, deserve recognition. And he's always been about the community, and as I say, he's been honest, and I haven't been featured yet, but I'm only kidding. We've got Danger Gerbil, we've got Scottish Geeks, we've got we've got Subpixel as well, and they work hard on their content and what they do, and they enjoy it. So they're the Let's Players. Now we've got another category here, which is a bit of everything. So this can be Let's Plays, reviews, podcasts, skits, whatever it is. They do a mixture of content. So I've already mentioned Stephen Wilds, because I've also got him in this category as well. We've got Sunbuns, and she does a lot of her editing is incredible, and she does a lot of skits, animations, shorts, rants, all that kind of stuff. And she has done the odd Let's Play, but mostly her work is the creative side. We've got Nico, or We Guys 8-Bit Stereo. He has a variety of content. He uploads a lot of video game music and soundtracks. He also streams a lot and plays a lot of retro games. We've got Cat Does Things. She does vlogs, Let's Plays, songs as well, and the odd stream when she can. We've got Inquisitor Master. My gameplays are kind of funny, and again, she does a lot of cosplay Let's Plays. She does vlogs. Her style is she does a lot of cosplaying during her Let's Plays as well, like Yandere Simulator. She'll cosplay and that kind of thing. We've got Quasi Dog, and Quasi has again shifted his focus from Let's Plays to more of like tech reviews and sort of tips on how to get your quality up higher, and what sort of like equipment he uses, that kind of thing, and vlogs as well. We've got Amy Napkins Productions, again a complete variety that you'll find there. A lot of Let's Plays, a lot of streams, a lot of vlogs, and a lot of singing. She's very, very talented. We've got Belle Coot. We've got Bremer Rangers Go, who again, he does a lot of skits, he does a lot of sketches, all that kind of stuff, a lot of streaming, and he's working on a lot of projects. And he also has Deadpool Deadpool as his character, like one of his other characters that he uses, and dresses up and does let's plays as Deadpool. We've got Level 2 Gamers, who again this year they've shifted their focus away from let's plays, and now they do more longer videos and they do reviews, indie reviews, that kind of thing, or bites as they're called, and long let's plays, to give you a good idea of that particular game. Okay, so now the next category is the under 500 club. So this is channels that I think that have a lot of potential, that don't really get a lot of recognition because it's extremely difficult, especially when you're first starting, all that kind of stuff. So this is the under 500 club, and most of them are again let's plays and that kind of thing. So we've got Gamer Force Adventures, we've got Blackbird, we have a Shadazzle Show, we have Tordeck the Dwarf, we've got Your Mum Plays, we've got Rogger, and we've got Wreck-It Beckett. So again, a complete variety. Majority of them are let's plays, and they're currently under 500 people subscribe to them. Some honourable mentions, and these are basically ones that either haven't really uploaded recently or not as active as they used to be, but they're also still just as deserving for a mention. Now, I do want to say that there's a lot of channels that I'm subscribed to. There's a lot of people that I do watch and support in different ways. So if you're not mentioned, that's not to say that I don't think you deserve it or you deserve recognition. But as you can appreciate, there's already a lot of channels for people to look at, which is something else that I want to talk about afterwards. So honourable mentions, we've got Zembear, we have Serious Squirrel, we've got Ashley Stellans, we've got Analog Age Show, A Guy Who Games, Katie Plays Stuff, Mr. Sullivan's Supreme Show, Rage Darling, Kinko Clicks, Retromancers, Reversal Pokemon Go, Taco Master, Miss Multi-Console, Statix J, Subpixel. So I've got a list here because there's just so many. Ninja Kuma and Tordeck the Dwarf. So these are all channels, mostly again let's plays, and that I wanted to mention, that I am thinking of you here. So that's my, I guess, essentially gift. It's not much, but I don't have a lot that I can actually offer anyone. All the links will be in the description. There will be a lot of links, and this is just for me to show my appreciation of your work and everything you've done this year, on your channels and what have you, and just to make other people aware that are watching this. So let's focus on what I plan to do this year and next year. Well, I say this year, there's not many days left of it. So I'm going to update my schedule and change it. And what I want to do, I've mentioned in the past how I wanted to shift my focus more on streaming than uploading videos. Now, there's a few reasons for that. You may or may not be aware that I actually initially started off as a streamer on Twitch a few years ago, and then when that wasn't possible because of my upload speed and all that jazz, I decided that I wanted to still interact with you and still try and imitate that feeling of playing with friends, being there with you at the time, and the next best thing in my head was YouTube. So that's when I started uploading. Now, I say I want to shift my focus more. That's not to say that I'm not going to do shorter videos and let's plays anymore. I'm still going to do those. So my schedule is going to be now stream days on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. Now, I don't know how long, and I haven't set a time as of yet, but it will more likely be around about, I'm going to aim for 8 PM GMT, so then I can get a good few hours at the very least per stream. So yeah, watch that space. I'm going to try and get more of a tighter schedule on that. I also want to do videos so that if you either can't make it to a stream or you prefer to sit and watch a shorter video, unlike this one, then I want to upload videos on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to fill that gap. So either way, my aim is to have content of some sort every day. Charity stream, I want to do that still. I want to do that for the end of this year. Now, I was going to put it off and wait until beginning of next year, for many reasons, because I know that, you know, this time of year is extremely difficult for everybody, financially and otherwise, and you know, Markiplier, for example, did a charity stream, I think it was yesterday. And you know, you can imagine a lot of people would have donated and done what they could for that stream, and so I completely understand that, you know, we probably won't reach the goal, which is absolutely fine. Excuse me. However, I decided that I am going to still do a charity stream regardless, because as ever, with any charity stream that I do, because I'm not popular, I don't get a lot of views and I don't have a lot of viewers, so in that sense, like, you'd think, oh, what's the point? However, the fact that I can still do this, and I'm still going to do it regardless of whether I get any donations whatsoever, the fact that I've done it, which kind of ties into with the whole sharing thing and sharing content, creators content, you know, if you can't support them financially, then doing something is better than nothing, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do that either just before New Year or on New Year. I also do want to stream on Christmas as well, so for those who may be a bit bar humbug or have the Christmas blues, or just want to hang out and chill and not think about Christmas too much and get it over with, then it will be a place where we can hang out together and, you know, sip on hot chocolate and just sort of like reflect and just relax. And that's the main thing. If you want to escape all the festivities, if you're not too, you know, if you don't have the Christmas spirit as much anymore, like I don't, for example, then that's what I plan to do. I don't know what time yet, because obviously I've, you know, got to do family stuff as well, but that will be there for you if you want to hang out. Let's see. So 2017, my plans. One of the things I'm going to start trying to do is change my perspective on things, and this is another thing which I think is quite important, and maybe you want to try it out as well. So I am quite an apologetic person, and like, for example, this vlog has gone on quite a long time, and rather than saying sorry that I've been talking too much and sorry, you know, if you didn't like it or whatever, I actually want to change that sorry into thank you. And this can apply to a lot of things. So it to me, it shows appreciation, because the thing is with saying sorry about something, sometimes you can be saying sorry, you can be apologizing for being you, and you may also be apologizing unnecessarily. So, like, for example, if I said, like, oh, sorry, you know, sorry this is late, sorry I haven't done this, then the other person might think, well, what are you sorry for? Like, it doesn't bother me. And, you know, instead, change that into thank you for waiting, thank you for being patient with me, thank you for taking the time to watch this, despite how long it is. You know, I really appreciate it, so thank you. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and thank you rather than apologise. And in some cases, you might not even have anything to apologise for, but it's just what you do. And I think we have this mindset where we feel that we have to apologise for too much, and it, you know, it can kind of bring you down as well, because you feel like you're a disappointment and all that kind of stuff, and like I say, you're apologising for being you when you should be thanking the person for understanding and accepting that. you're here for a reason. So rather than saying, oh, sorry, say thank you for being here. And that's what I want to do, is I want to thank every single one of you who support me any way you do, whether it's sharing, liking, following me on social media, that kind of thing. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for listening to what I have to say, and for your time, because I know that time is kind of precious. And so every second that you're here, just know that I may not know you, I may not know who you are, but the fact that I am grateful that you are staying here and you are sticking around. So thank you so much. And if you do end up checking out any of those channels that I've mentioned, again, I want to thank you for that, and thank you for all the support that you show every other YouTuber and content creator and streamer. It means a great deal, and on behalf of everyone, thank you so much. So I think that is everything. So thank you so much again for watching. I certainly hope that you have a great Christmas and happy holidays and all that kind of jazz, whatever you celebrate, whether you do celebrate Christmas or not. And I wish you all the best, and I will definitely see you around, hopefully see you around. And again, thank you so much. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.